Are you ready to demystify APA? Would you like to know always at least what questions to ask? Well, here it comes so that you can write your paper. I thought it'd be useful for you to have a sample, so I accessed our database using our ADP library tab over here, fourth from the left, and I located the databases and web links over here on the left, and then I chose EBSCOhost because I think it's full of information that would be useful in looking up something for my business report. Once inside my database, I get this screen, and I get to choose, and I choose Business Source Elite, but you'll notice right below that is Regional Business News, which might be useful to some of you who are doing a more local company. I chose Cisco. Next, my search bar will appear, and I will type Cisco in there, and I'm going to recommend for your sane minds that you will click this full text down in the left-hand corner here, because that way it'll only pull up the items that we have currently in full text that you can actually use in your paper. But when I do, I get 392 results. That's an awful lot of results, and I decide I probably will not have time to sift through 392 results. So that leads me to the next limitation you can make. So I decided I don't want to look through 392 results, and therefore I look down in my bottom left-hand corner here, and I see that there's a way to adjust my publication dates. So I don't really need to know what happened to Cisco in 1990, although there might be an occasion that I might want to know, especially if I heard of some special litigation or I know a merger occurred there. But I decide I just want to change this to 2012, just the last 2 years. And now I have 23 sources, which is much more manageable. So once I've selected that, then I only get my 23 articles, and I'm skimming through the headlines, and I'm interested because I see this one that says that they're losing money, and then I realized that was from 2012. And then I see below that this one where they're offering high yields to their investors, and that's 2014. Well, that intrigues me that they are now profitable, because I'm not sure I want to work for a company that's losing money. So I click on the link, that's my choice, and I see this. And here on the top, the very top part, I have everything I need to create my citation for my reference list. So let's do that. Okay, I have everything I need to create my citation on my reference page. And you know the format. First thing I need is the author's name. There it is, Nancy Gondo. And I use last name, comma, first initial only because I'm using APA style. So I write Gondo, comma, N. Next, I need the date, and that's where it's located. But I cannot write it the way they have because I'm using APA style. So I write it year first, then spell out July, 7 stands for July, 30. Next, I need the article title, which appears way up here. And notice they have it upper and lower case. But I will use APA style. I'll be writing it lowercase, except for proper names, like Lockheed and Cisco are proper names, therefore they get the capitals. Everything else, lowercase. Next, I will need my journal title, which can be located next to source, and it's Investors Business Daily. But I also need the page number, which, because it's a newspaper, has this letter B in it. So I will write Investors Business Daily. Notice that this keeps the upper caps, and it is italicized. And then I know it is page B11. That one P simply means it's only one page, and I don't need to include that. I will, of course, keep my retrieved, but I like for you to put the date you retrieved it just to protect yourself. And notice that I do not have a DOI number. This accession number is not a DOI number. I looked it up. It is not a DOI number. It is specific to our database, so we won't use it as a DOI. And you know, if you don't have a DOI, what goes here? The database name, which is, in this case, EBSCO. Good. Now I'm ready to use it. So here's the original article. And the article is about 4 stocks that this author feels are good stocks to hold right now. And Cisco is just one of them. So there's just one paragraph, but it's still worth mentioning in my paper because it tells me quite a bit. So the original says, Cisco, says what kind of industry it is expected to extend a streak of slowing profits. Not good if I'm looking to work there, right? For a 6th quarter when it reports in August. So this is this year. Thankfully, there's a but here, and I'm looking to see what the but is. It leads the quartet, meaning the 4 stocks they're talking about, with an annualized yield of 3.2%. Its 3-year factor is 3 on a scale of 0, most stable, to 99, least stable, which sounds pretty solid to me. So I don't want to just plop this whole thing down with quotation marks and call it good. That's not good writing, and that's not what you're being asked to do. Whenever you're asked to write a college paper, you're supposed to do the writing and only use quotes to back you up. So this is how I chose to do it. I wrote, even though Cisco's profits continue to decrease, that's the slowing profit part, it is a solid stock, that's the last sentence, quote, with an annualized yield of 3.2%. Now, I do that so that my reader knows it's not just my opinion. This is actually what it said in the article, that there is a yield of 3.2%. So people can agree that's pretty good. But I got this source from someplace, so I have to do a citation, which is easy since I've already done my reference. And I know that citations are whatever's sticking out, in this case Gondo N, and the year, in this case 2014. So all I need to do then is insert that in parentheses at the end of my sentence. And so I take my period out from inside the quotation marks because I have continued with a parenthesis, Gondo, comma, 2014. I end my parenthesis, and now the period comes at the end of my sentence, which is after the parenthesis. What's really interesting is what the next sentence will be, because how do I interpret that, and what does it mean towards my goal of working at Cisco? Will I say, well, they seem to only care about their stockholders, and I wonder how they treat their employees, and whether this is a good company to join, how long they are going to be able to sustain? Or will I interpret it the other way, that the annualized yield continuing at this level must mean a great deal of confidence, and perhaps there's something going on behind the scenes that they know that I don't know, like they've just merged or created a new product, or they have some new manager. So I could see that as confidence, and so they will be a good company to work for, or I could see it as they care more about the stockholders than they do paying their employees, and I'm not so sure I like the way they're doing business. It's up to you, and that's what I'm really looking for in this paper, your analysis of the data you present.